The next chart I want to give you is let people know how many days it's going to take to sell the house. And really what I want you to show, if you take a look at the previous slide and then look at the days on the market slide, you can see where prices are going up the most dramatically is where houses are selling the quickest. And that only makes sense, ladies and gentlemen. Where there's high demand, when people are gobbling up inventory, that's the places where prices are rising the most dramatically. But what we can probably guesstimate is that there are just as many people in New York that are playing with the numbers as there are in Portland, Oregon. So if we take a look across the whole country, we can get a trend. And the trend is that on the West Coast, where prices are hottest, houses are selling the fastest. When we get closer to the East Coast, especially the Northeast, houses are taking a little longer to sell because there's still inventory there and the market's just not as hot. But even if we take a look at the U.S. average down at the bottom, it's 86 days. So some people are going to be, again, watching CNN News last night, hearing about, in some markets, houses are selling in 15 days, 15 hours. Let them understand that's not every market. Here is across the board. And you can isolate, these are the only cities that Zillow covers on this report. So I can't give you every single city, but it can give you a feel for what's taking place. Now let's go back to the FHFA, and instead of breaking it down by region, let's break down prices by state. The dark green means things are going really, really well. And what we can see here very easily is that in the vast majority of the country, things are going well. Normal appreciation is about 3.6% historically. So the dark green numbers are all the states that year over year have appreciation over historic numbers. The light green states are about historic numbers. And there's only a couple of states that's that really, really, really off green. So as far as prices are concerned, again, what I said before, I'll repeat. If we even break it down, not by region, but by each state, things are going well. However, if you're selling your house in Connecticut and thinking about moving to Florida, Connecticut is not appreciating at the same rate as properties in Florida. So waiting for your house to go up in price in Connecticut might not make sense. Because while you're waiting, the waterfront piece of property that you're looking to buy in Florida is appreciating at a greater level. That's why I like to give the regional and the state numbers. Now, if we take a look at those prices, we can see that up in the Northeast, things are slower than they are in the vast majority of the rest of the country. If we look at the next slide, we can get a good feeling why. This is the month supply of distressed properties in each individual state. What you want is your state to be green on this map. If it's that light orange color, well, that means you have a little bit of a challenge as far as distressed properties are concerned. You still have some distressed properties to clear out, like in Illinois, like in Nevada, like in Florida. But what you don't want to be on this map is red. And we can see that all the red states are really mashed into one little corner of the country. The reason that is, as we've discussed before, is there are judicial states and non-judicial states. A judicial state requires the bank to go through a complicated court procedure in order to foreclose on a property. Well, in those red states, they're all judicial states. The banks had to go to court in order to foreclose on the property. And in New York and New Jersey and Delaware and Maryland and Connecticut, what do we know? If one of those homeowners are brought to court, they're probably going with an attorney. And attorneys slow things down. So those states have more of a foreclosure inventory that they still have to get through compared to the rest of the states because their inventory came to the market much slower. So what does that do to pricing overall? Well, here's the Case-Shiller year-over-year's change in prices. And what we could see since the beginning of the year, prices really shot up. And then when it came to March and April, they leveled off. They didn't continue to keep on shooting up. They maintained a pretty good double-digit price advancement over the year before. As a nation, we've done that. But they weren't shooting up like a rocket. And now we're seeing a leveling off. As a matter of fact, what we can see, ladies and gentlemen, is that Fitch Ratings on this visual, they took a look at every single state and said, Well, is the price growth sustainable? Can we continue double-digit appreciation, or whatever the appreciation was in that state? We can see that in some of the states that have experienced great appreciation, and New York and New Jersey, where they know there's extra inventory, they don't think that the current price increases are sustainable. You don't want to be dark blue on this map. That means that they think that the level of your price increases is going to start to wane. The medium blue represents the states where price appreciation is good. They're going to continue to maintain that same level of price appreciation. So your prices aren't going to flatten out. They're not going to skyrocket. It's going to be a nice, easy pace. And the real light blue are showing some states where they think there's going to be more appreciation. They're actually undervalued, according to Fitch. As a matter of fact, if we go back to the Case-Shiller home price indexes and look at the 20 cities they look at, we can see what Fitch is saying is probably accurate. Remember, according to Case-Shiller, we're in double-digit appreciation year over year, this year over last year. Let's take a look at month over month. Now, if we were going to continue double-digit appreciation, 12, 13% appreciation, that would mean that month over month, there has to be a 1% appreciation. The 12 months would be at the end of the year to be a 12% increase in prices. Well, we can look at this right here. The only cities in the country that are going to be looking at that double-digit appreciation based on the last month are the dark green cities. They're still appreciating at double-digit numbers. If you take that number and multiply it by 12, it's more than 10. But if we take a look at the light green, now we're looking at a different situation. None of those light greens are going to reach double-digit appreciation. So what's taking place? The level of appreciation is actually slowing up. The orange numbers are going to be less than 5% appreciation year over year if they continue. So what we're looking at here, and I think Charlotte's a little bit of an anomaly there. That 1 month they dropped off a little bit, but I think they're really going to be orange city. What we're seeing is prices are going to level off. They're going to continue to go up. They're just not going to go up at the speed they went up. And that this is a great slide to prove that to people.